KD catfished everybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Catfished everybody. Cause and the thing that kind of makes me mad about this whole KD situation is when he first came to Brooklyn, he asked for and got everything he wanted. Literally, he got fucking DeAndre Jordan. He got Kyrie. He got James Harden. He got the coach fired and got Steve Nash brought in. He got everything he wanted from that front office. And the moment everything starts to break down, he want to run away. And this is like an ongoing theme with KD. And this is what a lot of sports analysts and a lot of talk shows and a lot of podcasts are talking about with KD, sports podcasts in general. It's like, why whenever you can't do it yourself, you go to try to do it with somebody else. But that's also a tough conversation with our boy too. But we're gonna talk about that shit later. But the KD had the whole league, like you said, catfished. He reneged the whole league.
And I said that to kind of blend the segments together, but I'm actually on the opposite end. Yeah, he did catfish this whole situation with KD.
Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing your take on this.
For sure,
we're gonna debate this for sure. Because I'm pissed off with KD. I ain't gonna lie.
You pissed off with KD? Dang, is that serious? You down
because well, I mean, he's stupid. Well, I ain't gonna say I'm pissed off. That was a hard word, but it's like it's annoying. The whole story itself is annoying. But go ahead, say your piece.
Well, so all of this started because of somebody else. From what it was said, what's being passed around in the media circuits around the NBA, all of this started because KD is staying 10 toes down with Kyrie. We all know what happened with Kyrie last year. Is he didn't get the vaccination. He stood true to who he was. Didn't care. Did he actually get paid for playing last year?
So he got paid for away games, but didn't get paid for home games. They wouldn't allow him in the stadium. Correct.
So Kyrie stayed true to who he was. Didn't care if he was not getting paid for half of the games being played, but he was not getting the vaccination, and he was going back and forth. At first, the Nets were cool with it, him not getting the vaccination, and then when they started not playing well because they had no cohesion as a unit because they're depending on Kyrie to be there. Sometimes he's playing, sometimes he's not. As you mentioned, he's playing away games, but he's not playing home games, which is half the season. Then they were what, 8th in the East?
They were last in the East. Yep.
Last in the East. Which the East was in the last couple of years. They've been more powerful, more of a stacked conference than the Western Conference. But I mean, they're pretty equal because the Western Conference is always stacked.
They've historically had the better conference historically, but here in the last, I would say I ain't gonna say decade, but within the last like 7 to 8 years,
5 years,
they've been okay. We'll do that. In the last 5 years, they've been very competitive with the Western Conference, like neck and neck with the Western Conference.
Yeah, and so the Nets were 8th in the league with a roster that had KD, Kyrie, James Harden at one point, Blake Griffin, Seth Curry, DeAndre Jordan before. Well, no, DeAndre was not there this year because remember, DeAndre started with the Lakers this year.
You're talking about this year, true.
This year. You're right. So they had KD, Kyrie, Harden, Blake Griffin, Seth Curry. Joe Harris was hurt. LaMarcus Aldridge. I mean, they had a stack. You would expect the Nets to be in the NBA championship.
To have that, because they had a big three. They had a point guard in Kyrie. They had the
Right.
shooting guard in James Harden. Then they had the 3 and the 4 with KD. That right there should win you a championship
By itself.
by itself, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can just add those pieces around them, which Blake Griffin was, who's on the back end of his career, but he's still
He
a
is.
serviceable
He's
power
still- yeah.
forward.
Right.
You still had LaMarcus Aldridge, who was also on the back end of his career, and also
And he
dealing
had
with
some issues,
a
health
health
issues
issue
early.
himself.
Yeah.
But he's still serviceable in the league to go with those three. And then your bench, who had Spencer Dinwiddie at one point.
Sound like you said bitch.
My fault. But in your bench, who had Spencer Dinwiddie at one point, who was a serviceable guard, who was
Right.
a really good guard in the NBA.
They got rid
had
of him,
him as a 6-man. They did, but they had him as a 6-man at the beginning of the year.
Yep, for sure.
Right. So it was like you have that front 5 and that 6-man, and the other 3 or 4 guys on your bench can play well. Y'all have a championship team, which is why they came in the beginning of the season as the favorite to win the championship.
Right. And so I say all of that because KD, who is the second most hated player in the league behind LeBron, in my opinion, KD was standing for his boy. Saying they treated him well, or they tolerated. We all know the Nets tolerated Kyrie's behavior because of KD, but KD wants them to welcome him in with open arms, and that relationship is tarnished from here.
But the crazy thing is
forward.
that we can talk about Kyrie in another conversation, because I believe. Here recently, his past like 3 teams he's been on, he's a cancer, bro. But we're gonna talk about that later. We can talk about that in a minute. But he bruh.
Yeah.
He's a cancer, bro.
But what I'm saying is this is why KD requested why KD requested the trade is one, because of the Kyrie situation and how the Nets organization handled that by first saying, yeah, everything is good, and then basically scapegoating Kyrie as the reason why the season went the way it was. And maybe it was. Maybe Kyrie is the reason. But you got KD on your team. You shouldn't be 8th in the league in the East. At all.
You got KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. There's no way you should be 8th in the
James
East.
Harden too. So it was KD.
Even with out of shape James Harden, you shouldn't.
Right. You shouldn't be 8th in the league.
8th in the league.
So that was it. And then what was the other one? Is he was just tired of the coaching as well. So that's funny to me. I'll finish that thought though. But he was tired of coaching, so he wanted the organization to treat Kyrie better, and then he was tired of Steve Nash as a coach, which I don't know. So you mentioned that he requested Steve Nash.
He requested before he came from Golden State to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He requested Steve Nash as the coach.
You sure?
He requested, yes.
I've read otherwise. I've read that the only reason that Steve Nash is the coach for the Nets is because he worked with KD, not because KD requested him.
I've heard. Well, I guess we've heard conflicting stories because I've heard through different podcasts and different YouTube videos that I've watched that he requested Steve Nash as the coach.
Okay, I can believe it.
I forget what the name of the current coach was before Steve Nash came, but he got him fired technically, and they brought in Steve Nash because KD wanted Steve Nash.
Was it Al Gentry? Who was that coach?
I think it was that name sounds familiar, but I can't remember.
Let's see, what was that? 2021. No, it was Jacques Vaughn.
Jacques Vaughn.
Oh no, that was when. So it was Kenny Atkinson.
Okay.
Atkinson was the coach. But yeah,
but now he asks for Steve Nash to come be his coach. Yep. He gets Kyrie. He gets James Harden. He gets the cast around him, and then he's mad because they're not sticking up for his boy and Kyrie, which is cool because I would do the same thing for you if we was,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. That's my boy. I'm gonna look out for my boy. Bros before hoes. We get it.
Yeah.
But now you tired of coaching? But
Yeah.
you tired of the coaching when you asked for the coach?
Hey, yo,
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But see, there was a
it's,
lot of other things too that happened too because they ended up trading James Harden and they got Ben Simmons, which is a downgrade in my
you
book.
think so?
Yes, bro. Ben Simmons, no, bro.
In James Harden's current state.
James Harden, I would take James Harden.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right.
I would take James over Ben.
I forgot Ben Simmons didn't play a whole season because he didn't take a wide open layup and the fans got on him and he got in his feelings. I forgot that. I'm sorry.
Facts.
You are correct.
Wide open layup in the playoffs. I think wasn't it the finals?
Conference finals
Against the Raptors.
Sixers ain't
game
winning. Yeah,
bro. In the conference
that wasn't
finals.
a game.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the Raptors, bro. It was the Hawks. Because it was Trae Young.
Oh, it was Trae Young. You're right.
Yeah, because it was like he should have dunked on Trae Young.
Right, he should have dunked on Trae Young because Trae Young, yeah. But like, and Ben Simmons is the same guy who in that same series didn't want to shoot the ball,
right,
and couldn't hit a free throw to save his life.
Yeah, so there was a downgrade.
Downgrade from James Harden to Ben Simmons, 100%. 100%.
You're right. To a degree, but you're right.
And Ben Simmons didn't even play the rest of that season, so he lost a good MVP caliber player in James Harden to go to Philly.
But James Harden requested a trade.
I'd have no problem with
that. No, he did. Ain't no.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
For requesting that trade.
But so this is my thing and why I am kind of on the other end. I'm just tired of basketball fans, of fans in general, saying that certain people are quote unquote ruining. I can't talk. Ruining the league, or you can't. How do you ruin a $10 billion industry? One person. How does one person ruin a $10 billion company?
Because fans are so. How do I say? Fans are so indoctrinated in the old style of how the league, how players used to be
treated,
how they used to be treated, and what they call as loyalty. Right?
Yeah.
But what they don't understand is that a lot of these older players, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, John Stockton, these guys who
Magic Johnson,
these guys who stuck with their teams for the bulk of their careers or for the full length of their careers, a lot of these guys were in contracts they couldn't get out of.
Right, which holds with your point that you were going to make earlier.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys are in contracts of 10-year contracts, 7-year contracts that they can't get out of. So the fact that, yes, Michael Jordan played his full championship career with the Bulls, yes, he stuck through it against the Pistons, the bad boys and the Pistons, and the Celtics who was beating them up, and the Lakers who was beating them up, whatever the fuck. He stuck through that because he was in a contract he couldn't get out of.
Magic Johnson was in a 25-year contract with the Lakers.
25 years, bro.
25 years, dog.
John Stockton, 12.
How that's
12-year contracts. You with no trade clauses.
Right.
So the fact that people are saying like you should stick it out with the team and blah, blah, bro, these motherfuckers ain't got they got 4-year contracts now.
Yeah.
4-year contracts, 3-year contracts with player options and bro, the league back then was way different as far as contracts than it is right now. It's a players league now. So it was an owners league back in the day.
Wait. Let me back you up though, because it sounds like you on my side too now.
In a sense of I understand why players these days are moving around more, and to the point of the fans saying one player is messing the league up because they say that about LeBron all the time.
Yeah.
Right. But I was backing your point up to the fact of I understand why you say that.
Yes, for sure. I
you
just
know what I'm
don't,
saying?
It bothers me because if you put yourself outside of sports, if you put yourself in a job or a location that you don't like, you're gonna move. You're gonna look for a new job, which is why. And I like your point with the contract because KD had just freshly minted 4-year contract, but. This is why corporate America doesn't give many contracts because people are going to say, "Oh, I'm not happy with this job," but I'm gonna go do whatever I want to do.
My problem with that statement is this. Then you go to Golden State, right? Which in the job analogy, you sought this job out,
Right.
because
The
you didn't like
best.
OKC. You
Yeah.
didn't like OKC, so you went you went to the best job that you could find, and
Yeah.
they accepted you with open arms, right?
Right.
You get your 2 championships that you win, your 2 MVPs, and then you say, okay, I don't like this job anymore. I want to go over here to this job that's not as good, but I can be the superstar, right? Then not only do you do that, but you say, you know what? Job, I want my boy to come work with me. I want this boy to come work with me, and I want this dude to be my manager. And that company says, you know what? You're right, KD. We're going to do all of that for you. And then he's not as successful in the environment that he created,
Right.
and now he want to catfish the league.
Yeah.
That's why I'm mad at KD.
I understand that, but we're gonna stick with the whole example that you use, right? So you leave a up and coming company, a startup. Let's say this: you leave a startup, okay?
OKC. OKC is a startup. Okay, I got you. I'm with you.
You leave a startup, which is OKC, to go to a Apple,
right?
A company like Apple, which is Golden State at the time, right? You learn all the things you need to learn. You accomplish all the goals in statistics, scholastics, all of that stuff that you need, accomplishments that you need. You think, I need to go start my own business. And with me starting my own business, I'm going to pull my boy in. I'm going to pull my other boy in. And I also want this guy who I felt like I worked good with while I was at Apple. I want him to be on my board of directors. Never really actually had any bullets or shots fired with this person. Never been in the heat of battle with this person. I just worked with it. I just worked out with him. I just have a really good connection with him. So yeah, I'll pull him on my board of directors.
Okay.
But in the grand scheme of things, when actually bullets are flying and we in the foxhole and I need to be coached, or I need that connection.
That management.
That management is just not meshing how I thought it was going to mesh. And all my other board of directors, now they got an issue with my boy that I want to come with me because he doesn't want to get whatever. He doesn't want to get the vaccination, and now the relationship between all of them is falling on hard times. I want to get the fuck out of here. I want to go do something else. I want to go find me. I want to go back to Apple, which it was taught, was speculated that he was going back to.
It's going to happen. Facts.
Going back to Golden State. I want to go and learn some more, because this is also why I have an issue with everyday. I'm not talking about the fans that have either played basketball, coached basketball, and all that. I'm talking about the fair weather casual fans that they are the ones that ruin basketball, because they made all of these great players feel like in order for them to truly be great, they have to have a championship.
Facts.
And so now you have your KDs. I'll throw LeBron in there. You have your
Steph Curry's.
Steph Curry's been with Golden State the whole time.
Well, true, he's been with Golden State.
But you have these players. James Harden. You have these players bouncing around. Carmelo Anthony, which he's not doing it. He's not doing it because he really wants to. He's just at the tail end of his career.
Facts.
But you have all these players bouncing around trying to find a way to win a championship to stamp their career as. Yeah,
well, Jimmy Butler was one of those too, right?
He was a legitimate top tier player because he had these stats and all of these and this championship as well. The fans are the one that ruined the NBA.
I agree.
Right, and so for that reason alone, I am on the other side of this whole catfishing ordeal with KD.
KD.
Do I understand why everybody's upset. Yes, the competitiveness of professional sports, especially in the NBA, in the last 10, 12 years has kind of dwindled. You have your big three. You have these super teams. But I feel like with everybody griping about it, it's only made the NBA better as far as a business because people say they don't watch it, but the numbers say different.
The numbers say way different. Numbers say way
It was a $6 billion company 5 years ago. It's worth $10 billion now.
Yep.
That doesn't, what you say and what you do.
What you're saying, it doesn't add up. Because if you say you don't watch the NBA, then why are they year over year earning more money?
Right.
Why are they more successful year over year? So But I mean, to the point of KD, I mean, I can concede that because that was a really good analogy, putting it in the sense of startup to Apple to owning my own business. I get that 100%. So that was a good. I can concede that.
Entrepreneurs fail all the time.
Shoot, almost 90% of startup companies fail the first 2 years that they're open.
For sure. And how many years has KD been in the
He's been in the league,
3 years? No, with the Nets. 3 years.
With the Nets, 3 years. 3 years. So yeah,
it was time for him to go.
It was time for him. Well, no, because
it's been a failure.
It has been a failure. Yes. To your business, business, and your owning a company analogy, yes, it's failed. But 90% of startup companies fail, or they're not profitable the first 2 years. But that's why you continue to work on your business.
Well,
right?
Yeah, you continue to work on your business, for instance, but you also
me and you
dilute
right
your
now,
equity.
right? Me and you right now, right? We're starting this business.
Yep.
Part of my wisdom. We're probably not going to have no traction the first year and a half, 2 years, right?
Absolutely.
But are we going to stop?
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
So, unless something drastic happens.
Facts. So the more we keep perfecting our craft, and the more we keep putting into our business, and the more we keep, building part of my wisdom as a business, it's going to succeed. You know what I'm saying? But see, on the adverse of that is LeBron. You see what I'm saying? So it's
talk about it. What you want to say?
It's hard to say because LeBron, from the people's perspective, LeBron's done the same thing. He came in with the startup at Cleveland, had a little bit of success, but not as much success as he wanted to have. So he said, "You know what? I'm gonna go to Miami." You know what I'm saying? Even though Miami wasn't the Golden State in this situation, because Miami they won a championship with D Wade, but it wasn't like they had already won two and were already been in the dynasty.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he joined it with D Wade, brought Chris Bosh, got a good core around him. They ended up winning back-to-back championships.
No, they
then
did.
he says, "Okay, cool."
Oh well, yeah, they did. Not
yeah. Over the time frame.
Right. Yeah.
Ended up winning in that time frame of that big three. They won back-to-back championships at a time. Then he goes and says, "You know what? I'm going to leave this Apple, what is Apple now, in Miami, and I'm gonna go start my own business back in Cleveland." So technically, with your analogy, and it was successful, but KD wasn't. But I don't think KD gave it enough time, because how long was LeBron in Cleveland his second stint before he won that championship?
So 4 years, 3 or 4 years, because every time LeBron, I hate rattling off what everybody else has said, but it's true. So every time LeBron has left, he's fulfilled his contracts. So it's been 3 or 4 years.
Okay. So I'm about to go look it up, but he had those first 2 years of not being successful, but he made it to the championship those 2 years. But then he finally won that one in the third year, right? So, or third or fourth year, whichever one it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm about to go look though.
Might be the second year.
So he had the success. You know what I'm saying? That because he built in his business. Yeah. But KD ain't even giving it a chance though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, listen, like I said, I get why the outrage is there, because the competitiveness of sports is being diluted with all of these stars teaming up with each other. But that's just human nature. That's what we do. When you were recruited to go to the schools that you were recruited by, part of your decision to go to these schools was, one, you could play. Two, you would be teamed up with other teammates that could get you the attention and also winning. That's just human nature. That's the business of sports. You put the best players with the best players and create the best teams you can in order to win. And the reason that fans are upset is because it's no longer the general manager's choice. It is now the player's choice. They're forcing their way out of situations to get into better situations. Nobody wants to admit that and accept that. But we do it every day. If we have the ability to do it, we do it. If we can leave a job that pays us $50,000 a year to get a job that pays us $150,000 a year, we gone.
We gonna be up out of there. Agreed.
And that's all these athletes are doing. It's because it's sports. It's supposed to be you get it out the mud and you build your own shit.
Shit ain't working out, but anyway. My bad.
You build your own shit and you win it how you win it. If you don't, you don't. Mm-hmm. If you do, you do. But it also kills me. Off topic.
So just to the LeBron thing that we were just talking about. So he was with Cleveland for 8 years.
Yeah.
Then went to Miami for 4. Yeah. Then went back to Cleveland for 4.
Okay.
And then now he's been with LA for 4.
Okay.
So
he signed a 2-year extension.
And signed a 2-year extension, which will put him in the league 22 years at this point after that contract. So man, still balling. And still balling. But the crazy thing is, bro, the difference between him and KD to me is that in that business analogy, he pours into that business before he leaves, and makes that business successful before he leaves. He takes it from startup to Apple and then bounces. He brings in
whoa.
Let's
back up. Let's back up on that statement.
Think about it.
Let's back up on that statement.
Okay.
Let's back up on that statement.
Tell me why.
Because what you said, while he's there is true, but no. So he goes to a team. We're talking about LeBron. Goes to a team and builds it up to be Apple. In our example, right. But when he leaves, it's no longer Apple.
I agree, but it's Apple until no. But see, in the business aspect, if you're thinking about business, whenever you're on the top, like you win, you're the highest grossing company. In this analogy, being the one that won a championship, the highest grossing company. At that point, you're Apple. For that first year, you're Apple, and then once you lose that highest grossing, you're no longer Apple, right?
Right.
So he builds it up to Apple until he bounces. And then once that next team wins that championship, they're not Apple no more. Now that team is Apple, right?
Yeah, but okay. So what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, in KD's situation, even though Golden State has been not so good prior to last year, they've been competitive, but they haven't been the Golden State that we know. Injuries to Clay, Steph, so on and so forth. Golden State continued to be Apple. They just went through a tough stretch when KD left. They went through a tough stretch. As we've seen when everybody was healthy, they won a championship again this year. Mm-hmm. So they still Apple. Can
you say that? But what truth? They are still Apple. They've been the dynasty for the past 10 years,
basically
decade.
Yeah, they've been the gold standard of the NBA.
But the crazy thing is that you can't. So you said whenever KD came in, he won 2 championships with them and then bounced, right? And then they had a tough stretch, but then they won another championship. Can you say that about LeBron's teams?
That's what I'm saying. They're no longer Apple.
Okay.
What I'm saying is Golden State. When KD went to Golden State, they were Apple. When KD left, they were Apple. They just had some tough years where their product was broke. Or it was a messed up product, and they had to fix it. And when they fixed it, back on top.
Back on top again. I can dig it. I can dig it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, but yeah, I think this whole KD thing was just to me initially it came off very selfish. Mm-hmm. But
selfish.
Talking through it with you because of everything he did to get in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. He got 3 players that he wanted, the coach that he wanted, and whenever the system broke down and they didn't win the championship and his big toe was on the line, he wants to leave now.
But and the reason I said selfish, why? Because I'll bring it back to my original statement. I don't think, first off, it was KD masterminding this whole let's go to Brooklyn, as we saw at the All-Star game when it was here in Charlotte. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. When it was in Charlotte, where him and Kyrie in the tunnel talking about, yo, let's go to the Nets. They got 2 max contracts. We can get there. We can ask for this. We can ask for that. They ain't never won shit. Let's go there. KD, okay, let's go there. Now,
do you think Kyrie was the one that masterminded all this?
Oh, by far, bro. Come on.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Well, but seeing Kyrie's personality and the type of guy that he is, who's really strong in his values and strong in the things he believes in, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. So I mean,
I can see that.
I don't think KD is being selfish by sticking by his man, but I think he is being selfish by just signing a 4-year contract and then you requested a trade.
Yeah.
So that is where I have a grudge with him, because he's not being a man of his word. Mm-hmm. But I don't think he is ruining the NBA. I don't think he is wrong for standing up for his homeboy, who
he's not doing it.
Was standing up for himself and not. I mean, you got vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
So we both got vaccinated. We did what we felt was best for us. Kyrie did what he felt was best for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
facts. But see, the crazy thing too with that contract is that you didn't give yourself any leverage. You signed the contract and then asked to be out. The company, the organization has they don't have to trade you.
They don't,
because you're under contract. You don't have any leverage.
That's true. But this is also why I have an issue with the NBA, is because this shit does not happen in the NFL. If it does, the knock used to be, oh, you want to trade, we'll send you to Buffalo. Well, shit, Buffalo was getting all them contracts. Buffalo was getting all them contracts. Now Buffalo a Super Bowl contender, but now it's okay, we'll send you to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So,
or we send you to Houston.
You know what I mean? But players in the NBA requesting trades and going where the hell they want to go. It's like, how do you do that?
They have so much power, bro.
Exactly, because it's a players-driven league.
It's a players-driven league. Yep.
They get all of this, and on top of this, Sticks, he signs these they sign these contracts. All of that money's guaranteed.
Guaranteed money. Max contracts fully guaranteed.
As long as they play, that money's guaranteed. Or I'm sorry, no, they don't even have to play. It's only in like situations like Kyrie's where he decided not to play, not because he was actually injured. He didn't want to abide by the protocols.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, come on, man. We got to get off of that.
We got to, bro. And you know, good to know that, you know, KD is sticking by, like you said, sticking by his boy, staying in Brooklyn. Hopefully they can bring things together, man. But that whole debacle with him possibly going back to Golden State, possibly going to Miami, or maybe wanting to go play with Phoenix and all of these other plays. But bro, you're literally under contract. So if Brooklyn said, "Nigga, we not trading you," they ain't gonna trade you.
They finally
said, "No, we're just not gonna do it." And he has no choice but to play.
Yeah.
But it was like you said, he catfished the league by making it seem like, "Oh, no, I ain't playing for Brooklyn. Shit, I'm about to go play with D Book and motherfucking CP3." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did he actually say he was going to retire?
I saw that too. I didn't hear that part.
Okay, so I saw that as well, but I couldn't verify that. But I did see it was a rumor that he was going to retire, but I could not find that in writing or actually coming out of KD's mouth. Maybe I just didn't know where to look. But it said so. It went from I want to be traded, the Nets initially saying no, to I will retire, the Nets saying okay. And I don't know if that's actually true, but
let me look it up. Did KD actually say he was going to retire? Hold on, let me see. Let me look it up, because I didn't hear that part. But maybe he came out and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna retire then."
I don't think so, man. He loves basketball too much, to me.
At the room, okay. So this is August 15th, 2022. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna share the screen on this one. so that way you can see it too. But share. All right. So this is what it says right here. That said, okay, KD retiring? No, says the man himself, right? That being said, this said the latest rumor out there, courtesy of Mark Stein, has Kevin Durant preferring to retire rather than play for another game for the Nets. So let me see if I can find where he actually. Oh, I know most people will believe unnamed sources over me, but if it's anyone out there that'll listen, I don't plan on retiring anytime soon. Shit is comical at this point. So I think who Mark Stein said he was going to retire.
Okay.
And KD was like, nah, hell nah.
All right.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
but
to wrap, you good to wrap this up or?
No, we can wrap this segment up for sure.
All right. So
yeah,
wrap this up. I'm saying KD is wrong for signing the contract but requesting the trade, not wrong for sticking by his man and requesting the trade.
I'm saying that he wrong for coming to Brooklyn and asking for all of those things to happen for him. Mm-hmm. And then when it don't happen, now he want to off and take off. But I do believe my boy, my co-host here, that he ain't wrong for sticking by his boy, you know what I'm saying, and sticking by Kyrie. And the organization wasn't treating Kyrie well, so I don't blame him for sticking by his boy. So that's cool too. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's staying in Brooklyn and he's gonna do his thing. I think they're still a strong contender in the Eastern Conference. I think they're, like third in the East right now. Mm-hmm. So things are gonna look up for Brooklyn, and KD gonna do his thing regardless. So
I think they're gonna be. I think they will be. If everybody's healthy, I think they'll be in the NBA Finals.
If everybody stays healthy,
yeah.
So now the biggest thing about that though is we can talk about this another day. But is Ben Simmons playing?
Oh, he's not playing?
Is he? I'm asking you.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's supposed to play, but knowing Ben Simmons, he might take another year off. Who knows? He done took 2 of them off.
It's been 2?
It's been 2 years. He didn't play the last year in Philly, and he didn't play this year in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he got traded to Brooklyn at the end of the year.
But he didn't play. He hasn't played 2 full seasons.
I thought it was just a year.
I mean, let's see.
Yeah, I thought it was just a year. I could be wrong, but yeah. So I think if everybody's healthy, they're in the NBA Finals. They have a good defensive team because Ben Simmons can play defense. They have the shooting with Seth, Joe Harris, and Kyrie and KD. They have the only thing I may be concerned about, but rebounding is defense. So they'll be a good defensive team because Ben Simmons can get you boards. KD can get you boards. I don't know about Joe Harris or anybody else on their team. Is Blake Griffin still on their team?
I believe so. Yes.
He's coming off the bench. Anyway, I think they'll be in the NBA Finals.
You hear that?
I hear dead people. Bro, you all right?
No, it's a door. I think Sam's door is creaking, like it's trying to open, like it's opening slowly. Like, I don't know, it's making a weird sound, like a creaky door noise, and I didn't know if you could hear it or not.
So we gotta edit this out too, huh?
Gotta edit that out too. But yeah, so you say you think they're gonna be in the Eastern Conference Finals?
For sure.
I
think they're going to be in the finals, coming out the East.
Brooklyn Nets. Let's go look at their roster real quick, my boy. Roster. Oh my lord, who did the fuck? All right, nobody got it like this. So this day roster right here, my guy. So let's see. Royce O'Neal, TJ Warren's on the team now.
Royce O'Neal can play defense.
Royce O'Neal's a good defender. TJ Warren is a serviceable small forward.
He went off in the bubble.
He did. Emma Sumner, David Duke Jr., KD, of course, Patty Mills, Ben Simmons.
Mills is good.
He's a good point guard for sure.
Yeah, he's a good backup for sure.
To Kyrie.
Yep, Joe Harris is an assassin.
Kessler Edwards still there.
I don't know him.
Not me either. Day'Ron Sharp, pretty good. LaMarcus Aldridge is still there.
But he's old and has injury, some health issue.
Cam Thomas, Seth Curry still there.
Shooter.
Nick Claxton, really good too. Really good defender, really high riser.
Yeah. So I mean,
they got a good team.
Yeah,
they got a good team for sure.
Just no true big man, but that's the NBA now.
No true big, big, because they are probably gonna play Nick Claxton. But he's 6'10".
I saw where Ben Simmons was going to be their center, and they were going to small ball it.
Guard forward. I mean, you see.
Yeah,
you're gonna see. But they definitely have a good core team for sure.
For sure,
definitely got a good core team for sure. So we'll see, man. But we can close the segment out. I think Book is gonna be straight as long as you know what I'm saying everybody's cohesive. Everybody has that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? The whole offseason was a saga for KD, but
every time he talks about getting traded, it's a saga. Or he goes into a free agency, it's a saga. Just because he's KD, he's one of the best players in the league. That's those headlines are going to follow him.
Yeah.
Whether he makes a decision.
Whether what now?
Whether he makes a decision to leave or not, especially after he decided to go to Golden State. Anytime he says, I want to do this, I don't want to do this anymore, it's gonna be, oh, here go KD again. God dog, KD, what's up?
But I think that same argument lies with LeBron too. But you know, it's a little bit, especially since the decision. But we'll talk about that later. But I mean, he just got to sit his ass down somewhere, boy. God damn, you got to chill. Chill, because the whole situation with KD now is when the whole narrative around him wanting to be traded is okay, it must not be going the way he wanted to go there. Now he want to go to the best team in the league because of the way he left and went to Golden State. So he's got to sit his ass down somewhere, bro. Stick it out. If he ain't do what the old school contrarian courtside fans want you to do, and stick with a team for 17 years and just stay there. Even though it get hard and you don't win, just stay. Which one you doing?
You're going to be mad at me. I'm going to get my ass done. and let me explain, though. But let me explain. Okay, let me explain.